everybody, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new tutorial featuring some Altenew products as well as a Distress Oxide metallic watercoloring effect. I'm going to be using Distress Oxides to start off with and create a background for the camera that's going to sit on top of my card. I'm taking the Oxide inks and swiping them across Strathmore watercolor paper, partly because I wanted the texture of the paper and also because I wanted a paper that was going to hold up to watercoloring. I'm swiping down 3 different colors of oxides. I've got Salty Ocean, Blueprint Sketch, and also some Wilted Violet. Using the Prima Metallic Accents Pastels palette, I'm going to take a paintbrush and some water and start mixing up some of those beautiful pearlescent colors from that palette and paint them over top of the Distress Oxides. What this does is this creates a watercoloring effect because now we're getting the oxide inks to reactivate and create a beautiful painted appearance. And it's also mixing with that beautiful iridescent appearance of the metallic accents, and that creates a metallic colored background. So when this background catches the light, it has a beautiful metallic sheen to it. I'm going to be taking the Altenew Flat and Fold Alphabet Die Set. I'm going to use the letters D and A to spell the word dad. These letters I'm just lining up along the bottom portion of my card, and I'm making sure I leave enough room so that way when the A folds over, it's not going to run into the D. These flat and fold letters from Altenew are so much fun because it only cuts out half of the letter, and then when you fold it over, you get the negative portion of the background of your card folded over to create the other end of your letter. And it's a really cool reverse effect that gives you a really awesome appearance. Using the Ink on 3 Blackout ink, this is a beautiful hybrid ink that's great for both Copic and watercoloring. I'm going to be doing the watercoloring technique with this ink. But I'm going to be taking this cool camera image from the Snapshot stamp set from Altenew and watercolor in the image using oxide inks. I'm going to be painting in the image with a very messy style of coloring. I want something a little bit loose and also textured. I'm using again that Strathmore paper, so that's also going to give me some nice tooth and texture to the paper that will help give the camera a little bit more life. I'm making sure to purposely not fill in all the different areas of this image. I'm only filling in certain areas and creating a very loose style of coloring. This is going to give this camera a much more rustic and more, I think, masculine appearance because I'm creating a Father's Day card, so I don't want this card to appear too masculine, and I also like the more messy style because I think that really plays well with this feel of the image and the style of the card and the masculine feel. I used a variety of different colors to color in this image. I used black soot for the camera. Mostly, I used that for the lens and also a very watered down version of the black soot for the body of the camera. Then I used fossilized amber and squeezed lemonade for the inner portion of the lens. And then I also brought in some Blueprint Sketch to tie in the colors that are in the background and also give this camera a little bit more life instead of it having just some pretty neutral colors. When I'm painting with this messy style of watercoloring, I'm using very little water, so that allows me to control how these brush strokes are coming out. And that also allows the texture of these brush strokes to show through too, because it's not getting watered down. So we get a really cool, beautiful texture on this camera that brings it to life. I'm going to pop this up above the word dad, but first I'm going to stamp a sentiment here, which is from the Best Dad Ever stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this sentiment that says, "A father's love is priceless," onto some banana cardstock. I also used a Copic marker to add a little bit more of a darker tone to this cardstock. And then I also distressed it a little bit using the Fossilized Amber Oxide ink pad. I'm just running that along the edges and letting it create a really cool outline effect to this banner. I'll pop that up along with the card onto a fog gray card base. I chose fog gray because I thought that really brought out the color in the camera that we have for the shading. And it also allowed the white of the watercolor paper, the letters, the reverse side, to really pop. And that gray just gives a nice neutral appearance and helps make everything look really, really beautiful. I did add a couple of little details off camera one of which was some splatters of black ink. I wanted to have some splatters in the background, but I didn't realize I wanted to do that until after I had finished putting the card together. So I was very careful in dropping down some splatters of color into the background in just some strategic areas. I hope that you will stop by my blog to get more information on this card, including still pictures and products used, but also this card is part of the Altenew Celebrating Parents blog hop, which is celebrating Mother's Day, Father's Day, and all of our wonderful parents. If you head on over to my blog, I have all the details of the blog hop listed there. Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, here are 2 more I think you might find interesting, featuring some Oxide ink techniques. I will see you again very soon with another tutorial, and until then, have a great day. Bye!